Hello everyone and welcome back to brand new Subway. Today we will be looking at my brand new Subway map, which does have some work done by whoever the YouTuber GCBMTA made their map in the announcement video for April Fool's. Link to their channel in the description. Anyway, so we're going to go line by line and talk about the extension. So first, I made a new line called not a new line, but I extended the IRT Broadway 7th Avenue line to Prospect Park in Brooklyn. The new stops after South Ferry are a new station at Atlantic Avenue, a new station at Union Street, and both of those have the 1 and the 9. Then 7th Avenue, where you can change, assuming you're on the 1 train, you can change for the FG or 9 train. And at Prospect Park, the last stop, you can change for the Q1. Well, not the 1 because you're already on it, but you can change for the Q9, U, and X trains. Anyhow, then we go north along the current line. More info about those transfers in the future. And then after Van Cortlandt Park, I have an extension to River Road in Riverdale, making stops at Tibbet Avenue, 253rd Street, Fieldston Road, where you can change for the 12 train, Riverdale Avenue, where you can change for the 12 train also, and lastly, River Road, where you can change for the 12 and X trains. All right, moving right along, the next line we're going to be looking at is, of course, the 2. So it, as always, starts service at Wakefield, 241st Street, to the north. And there are no extensions or new stops on the north end. The only extension is an extension to the IRT Nostrand Avenue line. It is a 4-stop extension to Kings Plaza. Making stops at Brooklyn College, which should be Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn College. Anyhow, it runs with the 3 train in Brooklyn instead of the 5. More on that later. Making stops at Brooklyn Avenue, where you can change for the L, 2, and 3 trains. Flatlands Avenue, Kings Highway, Flatlands Avenue. Anyhow, then after that, there is a station at Avenue N, which I don't think is really necessary, so because of that, I am just going to eliminate that station. And the last stop is Kings Plaza, where you can change for the WV 3 and 4 trains. Anyhow, up next is the 3 train, which has changes on both ends. So, the 3 has been cut off from the now abandoned Harlem 148th Street. 145th Street has been rebuilt that's the one change to the 2 train, is the rebuilding of 145th Street, and that's to allow the 2 to stop there, and it's also as part of the rebuild of Rogers Junction. Anyhow, after 145th Street, it heads over the river to the Bronx, making stops at Major Deegan Expressway, Jerome Avenue Yankee Stadium, and at Jerome Avenue Yankee Stadium, there is a transfer to the 9 as well as a passageway to the B, D, and 4 trains. And then afterwards, it merges with the 4, going up with the 4 to the current terminus of the 4. This is just a passageway just in case one of those lines is cut back, by the way. And it goes to the 4's current terminal at Woodlawn, where there is a transfer to the A, 4, and 12 trains. Anyhow, after the 3 comes the 4. The 4, I totally forgot about the changes to the 3 trains south end. So, what I did I changed Rogers Junction so that, 3 trains, so that, so that express trains run to New Lots and local trains run to Nostrand, which is better because anyway, with my extension of the New Lots line, it is longer. Anyhow, that wouldn't make sense. Anyhow, and because of that, the 3 train now runs to Kings Plaza, with the 5 train taking over New Lots line service. Alright, now let's move on to the 4, which also has changes at both ends. So, at the north end of the line, instead of terminating at Woodlawn, it goes 2 stops to Woodlawn, 241st Street, making 1 intermediate stop at 233rd Street. And at that last stop, there is a transfer to the 9 and 20 trains. So yeah. Anyhow, on the south end, it is serving the Utica line along with the V train. I know that's a typo. Alright, fixed. Okay. And let me explain how that works. So, I know it doesn't make sense that, they can both run there when the V train is B division and the 4 train is A division. Here's how it works. Is you can the V train runs local and the 4 runs express. But not only that, but also the fact that there are moving platforms similar to the ones at Union Square, except that unlike the ones at Union Square, these moving platforms do actually, they stay in one place. The only reason why they're there is in case of service diversions. the entire line except the platforms, which can move, is built to B division standards. Because they do use the same track gauge. Whatever. Anyhow, the new extension for the 4 makes stops at Clarkson Avenue, change for the V, Utica Avenue, Kings Highway, change for the L and V, and lastly, Kings Plaza, where you can change for the 2, W, V, and 3 trains. All right, next line is the 5. Okay, the 5 has no extensions at the north end. It has taken over service along the IRT New Lots line, which has been extended. Just ignore that. Anyhow, after New Lots Avenue, there's an extension to Howard Beach, making stops at Linden Boulevard, 4 Bell Street, Belt Parkway, Cross Bay Boulevard, and of course, Howard Beach, JFK Airport. I think I'm going to split this video into 2 parts, or 3 actually, so it doesn't get too long. Those parts are going to be the A division, the B division part 1. No, just the A division and the B division. Maybe a split between the 2, but probably not. Anyhow, the next line, the 6, has no changes except a short extension up north to Co-op City Boulevard, because we've all heard about a proposed extension north to Co-op City Boulevard. That new extension would make stops at Gun Hill Road, Bartow Avenue, where you can change for the D, and Co-op City Boulevard, where you can change for the A and D. Anyhow, next up is the 7 train. The 7, and in general the IRT Flushing line, probably has the most extensions. So to start, we'll deal with the eastern extensions and then the longer western extensions. So, to the east, it has been extended to Thornhill Avenue from Flushing Main Street, I'll make a note. I'll note if the express stops there, but it makes stops at Flushing Main Street, obviously. Parsons Boulevard change for the 20 and 19. 150th Street. 162nd Street. What else is there? There's Utopia Parkway, 30th Avenue, Francis Lewis Boulevard, where you can change for the 20, 12, and 19 trains, and the 7 express train. There's Bayside Clearview Expressway, where you can change for the 20 HK 19 trains. This is also an express station. Then there is Bell Boulevard, or Belt Parkway? No. Bell Boulevard. It never said Belt Parkway. Ignore that. Anyhow, then there's a stop at 233rd Street. Change for the 20. It's an express station with the 20 and 19 and the express counterparts, of course. Douglaston Parkway, and the last stop, Thornhill Avenue. Now it's time for the much longer extension to the west. So, after 34th Street Hudson Yards, I have the 7 train going into New Jersey in Union City, the first stop being probably Summit Avenue, although because if you could see here, this might only get 956 riders, and that just isn't enough to justify the cost of making yet another stop. Although 32,806 is, there is an extra stop at 42nd Street and 10th Avenue, of course. I don't know why the MTA didn't do that. Dumb that was. Anyhow, then the next stop will be 15th Street, change for the 19. Patterson Plank Road, again, change for the 19. 4th Griffith Streets, of course you can change for the 19. 14th Street, Holland Tunnel, is an express station where you can change, as usual, for the 19. And then afterwards it merges with the now integrated to the subway path. So there is a transfer at Journal Square to the 13 and 16 trains, and the 19 train. Journal Square is an express station. I repeat, it is an express station. Anyway, after Journal Square, there is, of course, Harrison Frank E. Rogers Boulevard, then Newark Penn Station, Wright Street, Newark Airport, where there is a change for the 13 and 16 trains and the Newark Airport Air Train. Then the next station at Elizabeth Jackson Avenue. Another station at Spring Street that was an accidental station. Then there's Spring Street with the 13, which is the local going to World Trade Center. Then 3rd Avenue, which is an express station. You can change for the 13 or 16. Then over Arthur Kill to Staten Island. Next stop, South Avenue. Change for the 13 and 16. It is an express station. Just ignore this. It is a glitch with brand new subway. And ignore that thing that popped up earlier as well. Anyhow, the next station is Victory Boulevard, Richmond Avenue. Change for the ROK 13, 16, and N trains. It is an express station. Then Forest Hill Road, a local station. Change for the 13. Manor Road, another local station. Change for the 13. And lastly, Grant City, where you can change for the P, H, 13, and 16. Okay, the next line is strangely not the 8 because I used to have an 8 train, but I eliminated it right before making this video, and I haven't put in a new 8 train yet. Then next, so of course the next number is the 9. Running from Woodlawn, 241st Street, down to Prospect Park, via the IRT, I don't know what that line is called actually, and the IRT Broadway 7th Avenue line. It starts with Woodlawn, 241st Street, change for the 420, followed by Katana Avenue, change for the 20, Fur Avenue, change for the 12 and 20, 211th Street, change for the 20, Norwood, 205th Street, change for the B, D, and 20, Bedford Park Boulevard, Botanical Garden, change for the 20, Fordham Road, Fordham University, change for the 20 again, Bathgate Avenue, change for the 20, of course, 175th Street, another change for the 20, Park Avenue, change for the 20, then 168th Street, followed by Grand Concourse, and then interchange with the 3 at Jerome Avenue, Yankee Stadium, where there's a change, as well as for the 3 to the BD and 4. Then Macom's Place. It should probably stop there at Frederick Douglass Boulevard, where there's a change to the Harlem Shuttle. Then 145th Street, where there's a change to the A, B, C, and D. And then it merges with the one at 137th Street, City College, making the same stops all the way down to Prospect Park. In the description, or maybe as a pinned comment, I will put a link to this map so you can explore it. Feel free to modify it, obviously. Yeah. And I will probably also put the link to this map on trainfanner101.com. That's www.trainfanner101.com. That's where you can find viewer recommended videos and sometime in the future merch once I get that sorted out. Anyhow, next line, the 10. The 10 was originally a shuttle, but I extended it and made it not a shuttle because I thought that wasn't a great idea to make it a shuttle. Now, I know it operates next to a lot of B division lines. However, it is the A division. The ridership that it'll probably be getting does not justify B division service. Anyhow, it makes stops at 4th Avenue, 9th Street, change for the F, G, R, W, and Y trains. Followed by Union Street, change for the R, W, and Y. Atlantic Avenue, Barclays Center, change for the N, Q, R, W, 2, 3, 4, 5, I, Y, X, and T trains. Fulton Street, change for the G. Myrtle Avenue. Grand Avenue, change for the O, P, H, K, I, and V. Bedford Avenue. Marcy Avenue, change for the J, M, I, B, and D trains. Bedford Avenue North 7th Street, change for the L. Then Greenpoint Avenue, change for the G and the U. Vernon Boulevard, Jackson Avenue, change for the 7 and 19. 43rd Avenue, 13th Street, change for the Y and V. 21st Street, Queensbridge, change for the F. 39th Avenue, change for the W. And lastly, 36th Street, Northern Boulevard. Now I am just going to extend the R so you can learn kind of how to use this software if you don't know how. If you don't know how, it's kind of confusing, but probably the best Fantasy New York subway map designer that there is. Once you learn how to use it, you can save it as a file and then load those files into the map as well, which is helpful. So yeah, what I am currently doing is extending the R up to Astoria because a lot of people think the R should replace the N if there is a yard for it, going to Astoria, and with an extension through Steinway to LaGuardia, there is space to, build that new yard I was just telling you about. Anyhow, no, the W needs to go there. Thank you. And the N can head towards that terminal at Forest Hill 71st. The 10 train, by the way, terminates at 36th Street, Northern Boulevard. That's what it's called. Careful you don't double click the build this line button. If you zoom in here, they aren't actually connected. More on that later. I've of course brought G service back to Forest Hills. And yeah, it terminates there at Forest Hills. Okay. Now we're back. Let's continue. The 11 also I eliminated at the last minute, so now we're up to the 12. I'm sure with the IRT lines there have been plenty of extensions and stuff to it. Also, if you have a suggestion for this map, please comment. I'd appreciate the comment. I might, as in I probably will, use it. So yeah, comment about it. Anyhow, the 12 goes from Atlantic Beach in Queens all the way up to River Road in the Bronx, making stops at, of course, Atlantic Beach, Seagirt Boulevard, Rock Hall Road, Bayview Avenue, Peninsula Boulevard, where you can change to the A and the W, Branch Boulevard, no, not there, Hungry Harbor Road, Craft Avenue, 147th Avenue, Rosedale, change for the I and V, Sunrise Highway, Merrick Boulevard, up here there is 130th Avenue, Springfield Gardens, Francis Lewis Boulevard, Springfield Linden Boulevards, 113th Avenue, 109th Avenue, Jamaica Avenue, Francis Lewis Boulevard, 90th Avenue. Change for the C, E, F, J, Z, O, and P trains. Grand Central Parkway, Long Island Expressway, Francis Lewis Boulevard. Change for the B, H, K, and I trains. 53rd Avenue, 47th Avenue, Rocky Hill Road, Northern Boulevard, 30th Avenue, Francis Lewis Boulevard, 32nd Avenue, 26th Avenue, Bayview Lane, Willett Point Boulevard, Cross Island Parkway, 5th Avenue, in Queens obviously, Ferry Point Park, Bruckner, Cross Bronx Expressways, Westchester Avenue, East Tremont Avenue, change for the 6, Williamsbridge Road, Morris Park Avenue, Pelham Parkway, change for the 5, Bronxwood Avenue, Allerton Avenue, Boston Road, change for the T, Gun Hill Road, change for the D and 2, Fur Avenue, Woodlawn, change for the A3, 4, and the A3 and 4. Major Deegan Expressway. Henry Hudson Parkway. Yes. So after the station at Henry Hudson Parkway, the 12 train goes up to Fieldston Road with the 1, then to Riverdale Avenue with the 1, and then lastly to a terminus at River Road. Just ignore that. Anyhow, after the 12, there are the former path lines. Now the 13. The 13 is currently known as the World Trade Center to Newark Penn Station route. Starts down here at World Trade Center, which should of course be connected with Fulton Street. I don't know why they don't have it connected, but yeah. Anyhow, for the record, this would not be the real curve. Anyhow, after World Trade Center, it goes under the Hudson to Exchange Place, where the 14 train bridge is off. There is a transfer to the 14 and 17 trains, then to Grove Street, where there is a transfer to the 16, 17, and 18 trains. And then it goes to Journal Square, and afterwards it does mirror the 7 local train all the way to Grant City. Afterwards, we've got the 14 train, which is the World Trade Center to Hoboken route. It mirrors the 13 from World Trade Center to Exchange Place before curving north to Newport and then to Hoboken. At Newport, there's a transfer to the 16 and 18, and at Hoboken, one to the 15. At Hoboken, there is also a transfer to New Jersey Transit and Hudson Bergen Light Rail. Next up is the 15. That is currently known as the Hoboken to 33rd Street route, but obviously it's been, not extended actually, but absorbed into the subway, yes. Anyhow, it starts at 34th Street, Herald Square, where there is a transfer to the BD, FM, NQRW 16 and 18 trains. After that, it goes to 23rd Street with the FM 16 and 18, then 14th Street with the FLM 1, 2, 3, 9, 16, and 18. 9th Street with the 16 and 18, Christopher Street with the 16 and 18, and lastly Hoboken with the 14. Next there is the 16, which mirrors the 15 from 33rd Street, that's also 34th Street, Herald Square, to Christopher Street, stops at Newport, and then from there it does mirror the 7 Express down to Grant City, making stops such as Newark Airport, 3rd Avenue, South Avenue, Victory Boulevard, Grant City, Newark Penn Station, and Newark Airport. Anyhow, next up, this 17 doesn't exist, but this 17 does. So let's look into it. So the 17 starts at St. George on Staten Island with the OPHKI 18 and 19 trains. Then afterwards, it goes up to Richmond Terrace with the 19, the local version, obviously. Then it goes to 22nd Street, Avenue J, followed by 30th Street, 45th Street with the 19, 53rd Street with the 18 and 19, Danforth Avenue with the 19, Bayview Avenue with the 18 and 19, Communipaw Avenue, Grand Street with the 18, but I don't think that makes sense really. So no more 18. Grove Street, and then it does mirror with the 13 and 16, and then it does mirror the 13 to World Trade Center. Next there is the 18, which mirrors the 16 from 33rd Street, aka Herald Square, down to Grove Street. And then it mirrors the 19 down, or not the 19, but the 17 down to St. George, except it runs express, meaning that it only stops at Bayview Avenue, 53rd Street, 30th Street, and St. George. Now, second to last, but certainly not second to least, of the numbered lines is the 19, which runs from St. George all the way to Bayview Avenue in Queens. Anyhow, the local variant does mirror the 17 from St. George all the way up to Bayview Avenue. Oh, that's coincidental. 2 Bayview Avenues. Odd. I'll rename the other one. Anyhow, the 19 Express does mirror the 18, before heading up, making stops at Forest Street and Jewett Avenue, before there being another express stop at Journal Square. Afterwards, it mirrors the 7 with the express variant mirroring the 7 Express, all the way up to 233rd Street in Queens with the 7 and 20. Then it stops at Northern Boulevard, followed by Cherry Street, Hollywood Avenue, and not Bayview Avenue, but Shore Road. Because we cannot have double named stations on the same line. And Shore Road is an express station. None of the others there are. Anyhow, next, and obviously the Express 19 does mirror the Express 7. Next, there is the 20 train, and that will be our last train. So, it starts at Thornhill Avenue with the 7 and I, then Douglaston Parkway. Is it the express version? No, it's not. That was an accident. Then Douglaston Parkway, followed by 233rd Street, then Bell Boulevard, followed by Bayside Clearview Expressway, then there is Francis Lewis Boulevard Station with the 7, 12, and 19. Then Utopia Parkway with the 7 and 19. 162nd Street also with the 7 and 19. 150th Street again with the 7 and 19. Parsons Boulevard with, of course, the 7 and 19. And sorry, I just don't think that the Airport Connect is actually all that useful. We can just do an air train later on. And then it goes to Flushing Main Street with the G7, 19, and M trains. Then it goes to Metz Willets Point with the... Oh, no, no, this Metz Willets Point. No! Jeez Louise. It goes to that station known as Metz Willets Point. Here. Now it won't do anything. No more funny business. Now it goes to Metz Willets Point with the... 7 and 19, followed of course by Buell Street with the L, 94th Street, with a passageway down to the L train over there. Grand Central Parkway. Huh? No. Brooklyn Queens Expressway. Up to Astoria Titmars Boulevard. Titmars, no, this is being changed. No more 20 up there. 20 can go down there. And down to here at 23rd Street. Yes. And then down to here. So, Astoria Boulevard. 23rd Street. This is actually going to be Astoria Boulevard, 31st Street. And then, of course, that will be followed by 21st Street and 30th Avenue. followed then by the good station at 36th Avenue, 14th Street. I don't know who named these. Wasn't me, that's for sure. Anyhow, then it goes, shouldn't go to Roosevelt Island, I don't think. For now it does because it's glitching, but it won't in the future. Then 55th Street, 2nd Avenue, up to 57th Street, 7th Avenue, all the way up to 86th Street, well, to Park Drive North, Central Park, which is now going to be 86th Street, 5th Avenue, with the L, all the way up. Not here, this was just a glitch, please ignore that. To 110th Street, then to 135th Street, or perhaps 125th Street, then 135th Street, followed by 145th Street, 149th Street Grand Concourse, with, of course, the Q, 2, 4, and I, then Concourse Village, Park Avenue, 175th Street, both of these are with the 9, Basket Avenue with the 9, Fordham Road, Fordham University with the 9, Bedford Park Boulevard, Botanical Garden with the 9, Norwood 205th Street with the 9, 211th Street with the 9, Fir Avenue with the 9 and 12, Catawba Avenue with the 9, and Woodlawn 241st Street with the 9 and 4. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and don't forget to like, don't, of course, forget to comment, and more than anything, don't forget to subscribe. Yeah.